Big news for March 3rd, guys. It's one day before the Batman. Dawson's Rentals. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Today was a big day for Dino Fury Season 2 news. We got several things to talk about. We got our first trailer, we got a new opening theme, and we got some little behind the scenes tidbits and announcements. Let's start with those real quick. First of all, if you couldn't tell by the beginning of the video, the Batman comes out March 4th, but also the Dino Fury Season 2 first batch of episodes is going to be dropping on March 3rd. The first half of the season is 22 episodes, so I'm going to assume that probably means 11. We also found out there's going to be no holiday specials this time. I'm going to prepare myself for disappointment just in case that it's possible there could be 2 episodes in a similar vein as holiday episodes using like flashbacks and that type of structure. I'm not saying for sure, but you know, prepare for disappointment, you'll never truly be disappointed. There was also another interesting bit of behind the scenes info revealed, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, that I thought was just kind of unique. Let's talk about the opening first. You know, it's funny because the first thing I saw was someone put, like the person that announced it, I think it was like from Screen Rant or something, I don't know, but they said like, oh, brand new opening theme song for season. I'm like, oh my god, are we getting a new theme song? No, it's the same theme song. It's just like, you know, rearranged graphics and stuff like that. So if you're expecting a new theme song that was different or not MMPR 2.0, same song. There's not a whole lot of details from the theme other than like a couple shots of like villains that are coming back that we know from the trailer. Most notably this one villain whose name escapes me at the moment. We did give him a name because a toy came out for him that I actually have a review coming out for, but they did one of those battle attackers with him, but he is a notable villain from Ryusoulger. He's also in a preview clip, which I'll talk about briefly. So they show some like transformation scenes about the Dino Knight armor, which I'll talk about. There is like a cool shot, I think probably the most notable shot from the new opening is a cool shot of like Void Knight civilian clothes, which is pretty cool looking. And then the only other thing of note from the new opening is that they kind of double up the Rangers credits, so you get kind of a cool hybrid of both helmets, and then they show 2 Rangers in one credit scene. It's still a short version of the theme. Some people were expecting it to be longer. That was another thing Simon Bennett answered, as he said that part of the reason is that to give more time for the story and the show itself than the theme song. I'm 100% in support of that. I love me a good Power Rangers theme, but I'm totally fine with actually having more of the show. Like, it would be cool if they released an extended cut later or something if they keep doing this. And I do miss theme songs for lots of shows, but I like normal theme songs. Like, I'm not a Sentai opening guy. It's like, God, just get to the point. I do miss when TV shows have theme songs, but I do like the idea of, hey, let's have more time for the actual substance. That was the theme song. Then the trailer. The trailer's rather basic. I mean, to be honest, it's basically our usual trailer, except without the graphics that say, even more new Zords and gear with more zing and pep. But we do get some cool tidbits. I mean, they do tease the new Zords and gear with more zing and pep, because they're like, oh, there's more powerful monsters, and then enter the Terra Freeze Zord, the Pocky Zord. We show off the Terra Freeze armor, the Pocky armor. We show off the Dino Knight armor. It looks like an original transformation sequence, which is cool. I only wanted to point that out because a version of it's in the trailer, or at least part of a graphic is in the trailer and in the opening, and there is like purpley stuff surrounding it. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember if that was in Ryusoulger, but if you watch Ryusoulger, you know that the Void Knight power-up is tied to the Max Ryusoul Red power-up, or, you know, the, what was his name? Geizorg. There we go, that's tied together, and it's very possible it'll be tied together here, so I wanted to note that, because Zato did recognize the armor, and I'm going to assume maybe it's because he stole Red Ranger's power-up armor, so maybe Void Knight loses his armor at some point, and that's how we get the power-up. I just wanted to point that up because it was worth noting. There's a lot of focus on the villains. Wreckmate is back. I assumed he would be because we killed him off rather early, and he's in a lot of footage. I think, yeah, Wiesel was already brought back, wasn't he, in the Christmas special? I don't know. I just don't like Wiesel and Creon, either in the US or in Japan. I don't like either Sentai or PR's versions. So, you know, and just to quickly divert out of it, there is a preview clip. As of this recording, I've only seen one, so there's maybe more that are released after this goes up. But there was one preview clip. Just shows off a couple Rangers fighting this villain. The only reason he's of note is because he is a significant he's a significant carrot. I mean, that kind of works because his head looks like a carrot. But he's a significant character in Ryusoulger because he was undercover original Ryusoul Black and the Black Ranger's mentor. I don't know if we're going to do anything significant with him. Right now, he just seems to be a general with the same sniveling voice. I don't really care one way or the other. A lot of people, like, if we only use him as a one-off, people are going to be like, you ruined Ryusoulger somehow! Like, I don't really care. I like when they shift things up. So if he winds up being a one-off, I don't really care. But it's noteworthy that he's there. And then they show off a shot of the cycle. In the shot, I remember from the trailer, it looks like almost green or something. It could just be the lighting of it. But now, probably what you've been waiting for me to talk about. Where are Jane and Jayborg? I kid. We're gonna talk about the Batman. I kid. we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home again, because that's what's important. Just kidding. But what about Season 5 of Search Party? Why aren't more people watching that? The Season 5 finale was crazy. For real this time, though, guys, we're going to talk about the real stuff. There is a ToQger villain in this series. And she actually comes from the ToQger dimension, and her motivation is, why aren't we adapted for that stupid excuse about the trains? Because we could make it work! We could make it work! So, we are using a ToQger villain, the female villain design. This is not the first time. We did repurpose one for, what was his name? Coolio or whatever? Cofagrigus? We used a version of one of the suits in Ninja Steel as the announcer. We did change his face to be far less cool and awesome, but we did do that before, and this is not the first time. However, it's not only of note we are using a villain from a different Sentai, but she is called Void Queen. And the trailer, and I can't remember if it's in the opening, but the trailer definitely makes a big deal about Void Knight getting enough Sporix to revive Santara. And so the implication is this is what she becomes. And, you know, there's been a lot of speculation about what might happen to her. Lots of theories from myself and others that she could become Eris, that she could become sort of a Sporix queen or just a Sporix because they're using Sporix to bring her back. But the fact that we're using this could mean that is her, because, like, I'm going to say that's likely. And I think that's interesting, and if that's the case, I do like that, because it does subvert my expectations of what I thought would happen. Plus, I like the idea of using ToQger suits for two reasons. A, ToQger has some of the best Sentai villain suits of all time, so I'm glad we're not missing out on at least one of them. So I'm glad we're using that. But also, I think it's cool just because it changes things up and it gives something different. However, I am going to leave the slight possibility open that maybe it's not her and it's a red herring. Power Rangers probably isn't the type of something to do misdirection in their trailers like Marvel will do sometimes. But it's not impossible. You know, maybe this Void Lady is someone that gave him his Void powers or something to revive his wife, and she happens to arrive. Like, oh, you've revived your wife, so now I'm here to collect my debt. So I'm going to leave a small door open that maybe she's obviously related to Void Knight, but that maybe she's not Santara, and that maybe she somehow is related to Void Knight's powers. Regardless, that's cool. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Now, as far as the other tidbit that was revealed that I thought was interesting amongst the stuff about the episode count and stuff, Simon Bennett revealed, confirmed, that originally Dino Fury was only going to be 22 episodes, which makes a lot of sense, because if you guys remember, back before Dino Fury came out, we only had 1 year left on our contract with Nick. There was 3 years up, 2 seasons of Beef Morphers, I keep doing that, 2 seasons of Beast Morphers, 1 season of Beef Morphers. We have the beef. No, 2 seasons of Beast Morphers, 1 season of Dino Fury. And then at some point it was changed to your normal 44. That's interesting for a couple reasons. I think number one, there's that recent rumor that they wanted to continue adaptions for a little bit longer to sort of kill time because they were delaying production of the Entwistle reboot universe, just because of multiple reasons, just kind of reworking it, not to mention, you know, world situation delays. So there was that rumor that they continued adaptions for that purpose, and that kind of aligns with that. And that could mean one of two things. Maybe that entire rumor about the Sentai adaptation continuation was just Dino Fury Season 2, and we're not getting another adaptation and we're going to go straight to the universe. Or it could mean that it leads credence to that rumor, and that we are going to be getting a Duodur adaptation or something else, and they decided, hey, you know what? Let's do another season of Dino Fury, probably one more adaptation while we kill time. So that's very interesting. I thought that was interesting for that reason, and I'd be curious to know about that. And I think regardless of whether we get another adaptation after this or not, I think that was a smart play. I mean, it's not like they just hobbled something together in the meantime until they could get this reboot universe out. They had the production in place. It's smart to just keep it going, so that's cool. The other reason I thought it was interesting is I legitimately want to know what a 22 episode season would look like, because I've been saying for a long time I think they could totally do a just 22 episode season and it would be totally fine. A lot of people say there's not enough time for development, but I've seen people do a lot more with story and character in 8 to 13 episodes than I've seen Power Rangers do with 40 episodes in this last 10 years. So I think it's more than possible. I kind of want to see Power Rangers tighten up its episode count personally. As the longer I watch all 3 of these series, the more I just don't need 40 plus episodes of Sentai and Rider. There's just so much time wasted of just like valueless stuff. And so I would love to have seen what a 22 episode season would be like. From my understanding, that this happened early enough that they were able to plan it out, but it definitely makes me curious to see what happens. And also it's interesting, kind of gives me a perspective on the filler, both because I think some of it was used literally because they had to fill in space they didn't know they had, so I can maybe cut it a little bit of slack. Also be interested to see if this season feels any different, since it was clearly produced the most outside of the Nick parameters. I'm going to be honest, just like I said at the beginning in regards to my expectation for the holiday specials, I'm going to go in assuming it's going to feel mostly the same. So I would just set your expectations to that. Don't set your expectations to outer space now. Don't fly higher than ever before. Just say that it's probably going to be around the same and the true change is going to happen later. But regardless, I personally am looking forward to the season. You know, I know Dino Fury is not perfect, but I've still been enjoying a lot about it, and I'm personally looking forward to it more than Dawn Brothers. Obviously, I will be reviewing the season. I think I'm just going to review it in one video, just season 1A. That'll be the video. I'm not sure the format yet. Mainly, like last time we did this, I kind of, every time I watched an episode, stopped and recorded an episode, and then I might do that again? I'm not sure. Let me know what format you guys want to see the review in, for those of you that are listening to this part. Do you want to see me just talk about the whole season in one spiel, or do you want to see me do the thing where I watch an episode, come over here, review that episode, hit stop, and then record them individually? Just let me know in the comments. As always, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Season 2 trailer and opening. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.